Each morning as you open your eyes, the weight of a new day falls upon you. You look at yourself in the mirror, but you don't just see your reflection. You see the traces of haste, accumulated stress, and decisions made without reflection. The alarms go off, the hours pass, and before you know it, you've started the day adrift, without a clear direction, letting circumstances control you. What if I told you that each morning is, in reality, a battle lost in advance, not because the world imposes it on you, but because you yourself have accepted living this way? Those small habits, those routines you don't even notice, are the ones destroying your inner peace. Each time you wake up without purpose, without clarity, you drift further from what truly matters, feeding a cycle of exhaustion, stress, and frustration that drains your energy and well-being. What seemed harmless at first becomes a silent poison, eroding your happiness. But what if I told you that you have the power to break this cycle? Like the wise elder who, with years of experience, has learned to see beyond the chaos of daily life, there is a path you can follow. Stoicism, that philosophy of calm and reflection, holds the keys to freeing yourself from these destructive habits. And today, I'm going to show you how 15 bad habits that ruin your mornings can be transformed with a simple decision, to become the architect of your first moments of the day. Imagine waking up not as a slave to haste, but as a wise man who chooses how to begin his day. Every action you take from the moment you get up will be an opportunity to transform your life, to reclaim your personal power, your focus, and most importantly, your inner peace. Stay with me until the end to discover how each of these habits can be replaced with one that is stronger, wiser, and more stoic. Because your morning is the key to your day, and I am going to show you how to start with strength and clarity without wasting another moment. Are you ready to take control of your life, starting at dawn? Before we begin, I want you to commit to taking control of your mornings. Leave a comment saying, "Starting today, I free myself from the habits that ruin my mornings." This phrase will serve as your reminder that it's time to leave behind what sabotages you, to avoid those bad habits that keep you from a positive start. Today, you decide to transform your mornings, eliminating what limits you, and taking control of your inner peace from the very first minute. Let's begin. Number 1. The fatal habit of starting the day with your phone. How to reclaim your morning serenity. I wake up before the sun touches the earth, in that space where the world is still asleep and the air feels calm. I don't rush. I don't immediately check emails or open apps on my phone. Over the years, I've learned that how we begin the day not only determines our mood, but also sets the course for everything that follows. Upon waking, the world offers me a new opportunity, and it is in those first moments that I have the power to decide what I will allow into my mind. What I inject into my consciousness first thing in the morning is what will guide my thoughts and actions throughout the day. Have you ever stopped to think about what you do first upon waking? Do you let the world's noise invade you, notifications dragging you along relentlessly? I understand, because I've fallen into that trap too. But over the years, I've learned to resist it. The phone, that little box of surprises that promises to keep us connected, is also the thing that most easily destroys our peace. I remember a time when my first impulse upon waking was to grab my phone, to check the news, messages, social media. Who had written to me? What was new in the world? But what did I gain from all that? It only created more anxiety, more stress. My mind filled with chaos, and my day began without control. However, one day I realized that the time upon waking is sacred. Stoicism taught me that before the world demands anything from me, I must first connect with myself. Marcus Aurelius, the wise emperor, said the first step toward serenity is to control what we can control, and our mind is the only thing we truly have power over. If we allow external distractions to invade us, we are giving away the inner peace we so desperately need. So for years now, I've adopted a very simple yet powerful ritual. When I wake up, I set my phone aside. Instead of diving into the digital noise, I take a few minutes to breathe deeply, to feel the air entering my lungs, and to express gratitude for the simple fact of being alive. Gratitude, that small gesture, reminds me that even though the world is full of noise, my inner peace depends on me. The phone can wait. What cannot wait is my well-being. My mind needs space, calm, and clarity. Only in this way can I face whatever comes with a serene and wise perspective. The Stoic principle is clear. Do not let what you cannot control steal your tranquility. Think of your mind as a garden. If you fill it with noise and stress upon waking, you are planting weeds. If instead you choose to nurture it with peace, reflection, and gratitude, you will see that garden flourish throughout the day, filling your life with balance, clarity, and purpose. I invite you to try it. The next time your alarm goes off, don't let your phone take control. Give yourself those first moments of calm. Breathe deeply, feel the life within you, and be thankful. It's a small act, but the impact of this change is profound. You'll be amazed at how, by caring for your mind from the start, the rest of the day becomes more manageable, clearer, and more serene. In a world full of distractions, this space is a refuge for those who value the power of reflection and personal growth. If you're ready to reclaim control of your life and be an inspiration to others, hit like and subscribe. Every action counts to bring this powerful Stoic wisdom to more people. Without further ado, let's continue. Number 2, the habit of feeding. Negative thoughts. How to shift your mindset upon waking. It's easy to fall into the trap of negativity when you wake up, a habit as common as it is harmful. Upon opening our eyes in the morning, many of us fall into the routine of lamenting, thinking about what we don't want to face, or dreading the obstacles ahead. But as the Stoics taught me, the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives. In my experience, I realized that every time I gave in to complaints or worries, I was surrendering my inner peace to the chaos of a negative mind. I learned that the first thought of the day has an enormous impact on the rest of our hours. If you wake up thinking about everything that could go wrong, you're planting the seeds of a chaotic and anxious day. Epictetus, the wise Stoic, taught that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our reactions to them. If, upon waking, instead of lamenting what I don't have, I chose to focus on what I do have and what I can control, my day transformed entirely. This is a habit that, like any other, can be trained. For years, negativity dominated my first moments upon waking. Worries, unresolved problems, and things that hadn't gone as expected took over my mind. However, I learned that by feeding these thoughts, I was only making my path more difficult. Negativity is not just a habit, it's an emotional weight that slows down our decisions and worsens our productivity. Today, I've replaced that bad habit. Upon waking, the first decision I make is to redirect my mind toward gratitude. Instead of looking for what's wrong or what I have to fear, I choose to find 3 reasons to be thankful. It can be as simple as the fresh air filling my lungs, the comfort of my home, or the opportunity to face a new day. This small change holds immense power. When my mind is full of gratitude, the rest of the day flows much more calmly and balanced. While we can't avoid challenges, learning to face the morning with a positive mindset changes how we respond to them. The habit of feeding negative thoughts upon waking only drags us into a day full of stress, frustration, and anxiety. In contrast, the habit of focusing on the positive Being grateful for what we have and recognizing that every day is a new opportunity to improve prepares us to face whatever comes with greater calm and resilience. How can you change this bad habit? Upon waking, take a moment to breathe deeply and replace complaints with thoughts of gratitude. Choose how to start your day, and remember that the quality of your thoughts at the beginning of the day will guide your entire path. This simple change will not only transform your mornings, but also strengthen your ability to face life with a more serene and thankful perspective. Number 3, the habit of staying in bed. How to get up with energy and purpose. Getting out of bed hasn't always been easy for me. I remember those days when the sound of the alarm felt like a sentence, a reminder that a new day filled with work, responsibilities, and commitments was beginning. The temptation to stay in bed just one more minute was strong, and I often gave in, thinking that 10 more minutes of sleep would give me the rest I needed. However, over time, I realized that this bad habit only fed laziness and procrastination. This is a fatal habit, staying in bed when we should already be up. Morning procrastination not only affects our productivity, but also sets the tone for our mindset throughout the day. The wise Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that defines your life." And every morning that I decided to stay in bed, I was reacting passively, allowing the day to take control of me rather than taking charge from the start. Over time, I began to realize that the first act of the morning needed to be one of willpower, not laziness. I stopped delaying the inevitable, and every time the alarm went off, I forced myself to get up immediately without overthinking it. At first it was difficult, of course. The body resists, the mind makes excuses. But I understood that by getting up quickly and with determination, I had already won a small victory. The real power lies in getting up without hesitation, in taking control from the very first moment, and turning that morning action into an act of self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, taught us that every time we let procrastination control us, we're surrendering our freedom. By getting up immediately, we take ownership of our life and the direction the day will take. Why is it so important to get up with energy? Because the act of getting out of bed is much more than just a physical movement. It's an affirmation that we are taking charge of our day. It's a reminder that every day is an opportunity to act, to move forward, to make progress toward our goals. If we stay in bed, we're surrendering to indecision and laziness, the greatest enemies of progress. In my case, what changed was a conscious decision. The first act of the morning had to be intentional, not dictated by tiredness or excuses. Every morning I told myself, today is a day full of opportunities. I can't afford to waste a single minute in bed. This simple mindset shift has transformed my mornings and, by extension, my days. This is the challenge I propose to you. The next time your alarm goes off, don't make excuses. Don't give in to the impulse to stay for 5 more minutes. Get up with determination. Make your first act of the day an act of will. You'll see how that initial energy translates into greater productivity, mental clarity, and a stronger sense of accomplishment by the end of the day. It's a habit that may seem small, but the impact of getting up with energy and purpose at the start of the day is profound. It lays the foundation for everything that follows. Don't underestimate the power of this simple act. Getting up with purpose is the first step toward a fuller and more productive life. Number 4, the habit of ignoring hydration. How to awaken your body and mind with water. When you open your eyes in the morning, one of the first decisions you make is whether to hydrate your body or not. In my youth, I used to wake up and simply start my day without giving water a second thought. My mind was preoccupied with the tasks I needed to accomplish, and I never considered that a glass of water could hold such power over my well-being. This was a bad habit, one I learned to correct over time as I began to understand the connection between my body, my mind, and hydration. Morning hydration is vital. Water is the fuel that allows the body to function properly after a night of rest. During sleep, the body loses fluids, and upon waking, our cells are thirsty. However, many of us, upon rising, skip this step and instead focus on coffee or the rush of the morning. Naturally, this decision has consequences. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, said that our body is the temple that houses our mind. So why would we ignore what this temple needs to function well? Water is the first thing our body needs to begin moving with energy and agility. The simple act of drinking a glass of water upon waking can make the difference between a day full of vitality and one marked by fatigue and sluggishness. I remember how, when I started to change this bad habit, I noticed a significant difference in my energy. I no longer felt that morning heaviness or the sensation of dragging myself through the day. Water became my first act of self-care, a reminder that my physical well-being is just as crucial to facing the day's challenges. It's a simple fact. Without water, the body cannot function at its best. By not hydrating upon waking, I was preventing my mind and body from operating at their full potential. Water helps activate our digestive system, improves circulation, and provides natural energy. All of this, even before the sun has fully risen, is a gift the body offers us if we treat it with the respect it deserves. Every time I drink that first glass of water in the morning, I feel like I'm laying the foundation for a productive, focused, and energized day. It's a small act, but its impact is profound. By nourishing my body with water, I'm also sending a message to my mind. Today is a day to be alert, to be present, to make the most of every moment. If you've ever felt tired at the start of the day, I encourage you to try this simple yet powerful change. Before reaching for coffee or diving into your daily tasks, take a moment to drink water. Feel how your body thanks you. This habit has a direct impact on your energy, focus, and overall well-being. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the body and mind are inseparable, and when one isn't well, neither is the other. Hydration is an act of self-care that connects you with your overall well-being, helping your body and mind work in harmony throughout the day. Number 5, the habit of waking up in a rush. How to cultivate calm and clarity as you start your day. Each morning, as the sun begins to light up the room, I'm reminded of an undeniable truth. The pace at which I start my day will determine the quality of everything that follows. For many years, however, my first act upon waking was to jump out of bed, hurried and anxious to face whatever the day had in store. Rushing had become a habit, bringing with it chaos, stress, and the constant feeling of racing against the clock. This bad habit is devastating because waking up in a rush not only drains your physical energy, but also depletes your mental energy. The wise Marcus Aurelius reminded us that haste is the mother of failure. By rushing, we disconnect from what truly matters: mental clarity, calm, and purpose. When all we do upon waking is run from one task to another, our mind is swept away by waves of anxiety and disorganization. It's like trying to swim in a stormy sea without a clear direction. Over time, I realized that waking up calmly is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. It's an act of self-discipline, a decision about how I want to live my day from the very first moment. While the world constantly pressures us to be faster, more efficient, and more productive, true productivity is not found in rushing, but in clarity and calm. When I allow myself to begin the day calmly, I give my mind the space to organize itself, connect with my intentions, and tackle whatever comes my way much more effectively. The first step to eliminating the rush is taking those first few moments for yourself. Don't let the world grab hold of you immediately. Upon waking, take a deep breath, stretch slowly, and set a conscious intention for the day. This simple act of taking control of the morning not only sets the tone for the day, but also mentally prepares you for everything ahead, from challenges to opportunities. Epictetus taught that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. Similarly, upon waking, we cannot control external demands, but we do have control over how we choose to start. By waking up without rushing, I choose to respond to life with calmness, serenity, and focus. When I begin my day with clarity, everything else follows that same direction. I remember when I first started making this change. At first it felt strange not to rush in the morning, but over time I learned that those initial minutes of calm not only prepared me for a more organized day, but also helped me handle stress with greater resilience. I began to notice how my mind stayed more focused, my decisions were clearer, and most importantly, I felt that my day was under my control, not at the mercy of circumstances. I encourage you to make this small yet powerful change. The next time your alarm rings, don't jump out of bed in a hurry. Take a few minutes to breathe, stretch, and reflect on what you want to achieve that day. Calmness rather than haste will be your greatest ally. Don't rush. Time has its own rhythm, and by living in harmony with it, you'll find peace, clarity, and productivity. Remember, the wise philosopher didn't chase after the days. He took his time to own each one of them. And like him, you too can start each morning with a slower, more mindful pace, ensuring that rush doesn't steal your peace and energy. Number 6. The habit of skipping a good breakfast. How to nourish yourself to start the day with energy. When I was younger, I often skipped breakfast. I thought it wasn't that important, or that I could simply eat later. Often I would wake up in a rush, with neither the time nor the energy to prepare something nutritious. Over the years, however, I learned that a poor breakfast, or skipping it entirely, is one of the worst habits we can develop when starting our day. As the ancient Stoics taught us, the way we care for our body is fundamental to facing daily challenges with strength and determination. A balanced breakfast is the foundation of our energy for the day. When we neglect this essential meal, we are telling our body that we don't value it as much as we should. A poor or non-existent breakfast can affect our concentration, mood, and productivity throughout the day. Yet we often fall into the bad habit of choosing what's quickest, easiest, or most convenient, sacrificing our health for convenience. I remember how, in the beginning, skipping a good breakfast made me feel irritable by mid-morning, with low energy and poor focus. My body, deprived of the proper nutrients, slowed down, and my mind became foggy. Marcus Aurelius, with his wisdom, taught us that our body is the vehicle that carries us through life, and as such, it should be treated with respect. We cannot expect to perform at our best if we do not adequately nourish this vehicle. Today, I've changed that bad habit. I make sure to start my day with a meal that provides sustained energy. It's no longer just about filling my stomach, but about giving my body the nutrients it needs to function optimally. A good breakfast, even if simple, has the power to activate all my systems, from digestion to the mind. It's like fueling an engine. If you provide it with the right fuel, everything will work more efficiently. Epictetus taught us that virtue lies in moderation, and the same applies to breakfast. It's not about overeating or following strict diets, but about giving your body what it needs: proteins, carbohydrates, healthy fats, and enough water. Instead of reaching for processed foods or succumbing to the typical rush to save time, I now take the time to nourish my body with what it truly needs to tackle the day. A bowl of oatmeal with fruit, a protein smoothie, or even eggs with vegetables are options that provide me with lasting energy and mental clarity. This simple change has transformed my mornings. By properly nourishing my body, my mind feels more alert, and my energy remains stable. By dedicating just a few minutes to proper nutrition, I prepare myself for a day full of productivity and focus. This seemingly simple habit profoundly impacts how I face challenges and interact with the world around me. I challenge you to do the same. The next time you wake up, don't neglect your breakfast. Don't rush. Don't let the morning chaos dictate your well-being. Take a moment to prepare something nutritious and suitable for your body. You'll see how, by properly feeding your body, your mind will also fill with energy and clarity, enabling you to face the day with greater determination. Remember, a nutritious breakfast is the first step toward a day filled with achievement and well-being. Don't underestimate the power of this small ritual. Your body and mind will thank you. If you've made it this far, it's because you're ready to transform your mornings and take control of your day. Subscribe and comment. Today I leave bad habits behind to reaffirm your commitment to a more productive, serene, and focused start to the day. This is just the first step toward a morning routine that will help you reach your full potential. By the time you reach the 10th habit, you'll discover a change that can transform how you face each morning. Don't miss it. It's the key to achieving a more balanced day. Let's continue. Number 7. The habit of not having a clear plan. How to navigate your day with purpose and direction. I remember those days when I would wake up without a clear sense of direction, simply waiting for the day to unfold however it might. Without a defined plan, I ended up jumping from task to task, unfocused and purposeless, like a ship adrift in a sea of obligations. I thought that just tackling things as they came was enough. But over time, I realized this is a devastating habit for both our productivity and well-being. Waking up without a clear plan is like setting out to sea without a compass. It leads us to scatter our efforts in 1,000 directions, wasting time and energy on things that don't truly matter. Without knowing exactly what to do or where to start, the day becomes a string of meaningless tasks, a constant battle against the clock. Epictetus, with his profound wisdom, taught us that true freedom lies in having control over our decisions, and this is only possible when we know where we're headed. It's like preparing for a battle without knowing the objective. By having a clear plan, we give ourselves the chance to act with purpose, to make decisions aligned with our goals. Without it, we simply react, and our energy is spread too thin across countless distractions. Over the years, I've come to understand that a well-spent day begins with a morning decision, taking a few minutes at the start of the day to plan and set priorities. When I decided to adopt this habit, everything changed. Suddenly, my mornings were no longer filled with chaos but with purpose. I visualized what I wanted to achieve during the day and mapped out a clear path toward those goals, from the smallest tasks to the largest ones. Not only did it make me more productive, but it also brought me a sense of calm, because I already knew what needed to be done and when. It's essential to understand that having a plan doesn't mean following it blindly. It's about having a guide, a flexible structure that allows you to move forward with clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that every action must be executed with purpose, and by planning my day each morning, I ensured that my actions were aligned with what truly mattered. How did I change this bad habit? The key was in identifying the 3 most important tasks of the day. I didn't need to fill my schedule with an endless list, just pinpoint the 3 things that truly required my attention. This not only gave me clarity, but also helped me focus on what was essential. Moreover, I noticed that by concentrating on these key tasks, my day became much more manageable and my stress levels significantly decreased. Remember, every morning is a new opportunity to be the architect of your day, to decide what to build and what to set aside. Waking up without a plan surrenders you to the chaos of the day, but choosing to plan puts you in control of what happens next. Don't let the day carry you aimlessly. Instead, set a clear direction. I invite you to take 5 minutes each morning to plan your day. Do it calmly and with intention. Visualize your tasks, set priorities, and take the first step toward a productive and balanced day. This simple habit will not only make you more efficient, but also allow you to live with purpose, rather than just being swept along by the current. Remember what Epictetus said: life is not what happens to us, but how we decide to face what happens. And that confrontation begins with conscious planning, a decision we make at the start of the day to direct our actions toward what truly matters. Number 8. The habit of not appreciating the day. How to cultivate a positive mindset upon waking up. It's easy to wake up and feel like the day is a burden. Perhaps you rise thinking about all the tasks you need to complete, the problems you must solve, or the responsibilities you can't avoid. But here's the issue. By starting the day with this mindset of resentment and negative anticipation, you're sabotaging your own day from the outset. When we fail to appreciate the gift that each new day represents, when we face it with complaints and reluctance, we're missing an invaluable opportunity. This bad habit of nurturing negative thoughts about the day can easily spiral into a perpetual cycle of discontent. Stress and anxiety take hold, and we forget that the day itself is an opportunity to live with purpose and gratitude. I know, because I used to wake up thinking about everything I hadn't yet accomplished. I would complain that Monday had arrived, that the week would be too long, or that my responsibilities felt overwhelming. This bad habit not only left me feeling drained before I even started, but it also sapped my energy throughout the day. This mindset fueled exhaustion, demotivation, and a lack of enthusiasm for what lay ahead. However, I soon realized that this habit could be transformed. Marcus Aurelius taught us that the way we begin the day determines how we live it. If we greet the morning with gratitude and clarity, we can approach each challenge with calm and focus. So, I began to change my perspective. Instead of complaining, I started practicing gratitude upon waking. I focused on what I could learn, the opportunities I had to grow, the people I loved, and the blessing of simply being alive. Today, when I open my eyes, I remind myself that this is a new beginning. No matter what's on my to-do list or the difficulties ahead, each day gives me the chance to improve, learn, and move closer to my goals. This small mental adjustment allows me to start with a positive and productive mindset. Rather than resisting the day, I embrace it as an opportunity. Instead of waking up thinking about what I have to do, I choose to think about what I want to do. By doing so, I become a conscious creator of my day, not a slave to circumstances. This mindset of appreciation has transformed not only my mornings, but also my entire outlook on life. I invite you to try this tomorrow. Upon waking, take a moment to breathe deeply and express gratitude for what you have. Do this before negative thoughts take hold. If you practice this each morning, you'll see how your day becomes filled with positive energy and gratitude. As Epictetus said, a mind that focuses on what it has, rather than what it lacks, is a mind at peace and in control. Number 9, the habit of not reflecting on the day, how to start your mornings. Calmly and mentally prepare for what's ahead. When we start the day, many of us jump out of bed immediately, eager to face the chaos ahead. This is one of the most common bad habits, not taking a few minutes to reflect on how we feel as we begin the day. We dive straight into tasks and obligations without giving ourselves the necessary space to mentally prepare for the challenges to come. This habit of skipping reflection leaves our minds overwhelmed, confused, and reactive. Without a moment of calm to understand how we feel, our emotions take control. Thoughts of anxiety and stress are often the first to arrive, and we find ourselves rushing from one thing to the next with no clear purpose, reacting to everything that comes our way. Have you ever gotten up and started doing things without even being sure why you're doing them? This used to be part of my routine, but I soon realized that without a moment of reflection, my day lacked direction. I would begin tasks just for the sake of doing them, without considering what I truly wanted to achieve. But then I remembered the teachings of the great Stoic philosophers. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advised us to reflect daily on what we were about to face. He taught that life is full of inevitable obstacles, but the important thing is not what happens to us, but how we prepare for it. By integrating this habit into my life, I began taking a few minutes each morning to reflect on what lay ahead. Before jumping into action, I created a brief moment to consider the following. What will be difficult today? How can I approach these challenges with serenity and clarity? This act of reflection helped me shift my focus and see the day with fresh eyes, mentally preparing myself for what I needed to do without feeling overwhelmed. Morning reflection doesn't have to be a long or complicated process. It's simply a moment to be mindful of how you feel and how you want the day to unfold. It's a space to adjust your mindset and set clear intentions. What do you want to achieve? How can you maintain your calm and focus despite difficulties? With this simple change, I began approaching each day with greater calm and purpose. Instead of rushing to be swept up by the routine, I took control of how I would react to whatever came my way. This reflection allowed me to be more aware of my emotions, more balanced in my attitude, and more focused on my goals. Starting the day with calm, instead of plunging immediately into activities, creates a space to orient ourselves. This moment of reflection becomes a solid foundation on which to build our day. It's like adjusting the course before setting sail. When you have clarity about what you need to do and how you'll face obstacles, you feel more prepared, more serene, and above all, more in control of your life. So I invite you, each morning upon waking, to take just 5 minutes to reflect. Breathe deeply, feel the moment, and visualize how you'll handle what the day brings. You'll see how this small habit transforms not just your mornings, but your entire life. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, a well-prepared day is a day that faces any challenge with wisdom and serenity. Number 10. The habit of neglecting the body. How to care for it in the morning with stretching and self-care. It's easy, upon waking up, to dive straight into the tasks of the day without thinking about our physical health. We get up quickly, get dressed, and rush out to start the day, ignoring what our body needs after a long rest. This habit of neglecting our physical well-being is common, and many of us adopt it without realizing how a lack of self-care can impact our energy and productivity throughout the day. As you know, the body is the fundamental base for everything we do in life. Without a strong and healthy body, our minds also tend to falter. We cannot expect our mind to function correctly if we don't properly nourish and care for the vehicle that carries it. It's like expecting a car to run without fuel or function well without regular maintenance. The body needs movement, and stretching in the morning serves as a reminder that we must care for the temple that sustains us. In my experience, I've learned that morning stretches are one of the simplest ways to align the body and mind. For years, I made the mistake of thinking I could skip this practice, rushing into the day's routine without paying attention to my body. And of course, what happened was that I felt stiff, fatigued, and lacked energy throughout the day. It was as if, by not taking time to stretch and get moving, my body remained trapped in the rigidity of the night. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminded us of the importance of preparing our bodies for the demands of the day, just as a soldier prepares for battle. The body is not separate from the mind. They are a unit that must be aligned. If one is neglected, the other will suffer the consequences. Morning physical self-care is not just an act of discipline, but also one of wisdom. When I begin my day, I make sure to dedicate at least a few minutes to mindful stretching. I start with simple movements that cover all muscle groups: the neck, shoulders, back, and legs. These movements not only wake up my body, but also energize me and mentally prepare me for what lies ahead. I feel the blood flowing through my veins, my body activating with each stretch, and my mind becoming clearer and more focused. In addition to stretching, it's essential to take a moment upon waking to listen to your body and recognize what it needs. Is it tired? Tense? Does it need water or rest? Practicing this level of awareness from the first moment of the day lays a solid foundation for facing any challenge. It's as if, by paying attention to my body upon waking, I simultaneously strengthen my mind, because the two are interconnected. It's amazing how something as simple as a few minutes of stretching can significantly improve our posture and energy. The benefits are immediate. I feel more alert, calmer, and better prepared to tackle tasks with clarity. This small act of self-care has become one of the pillars of my daily routine. I encourage you to dedicate at least a few minutes each morning to stretch, feel your body, and give it the care it needs. Don't put it off for later. It's a simple act with a lasting impact on your overall well-being. As the Stoics teach us, our body is our first responsibility, and tending to it at the start of the day is one of the wisest ways to begin on the right foot. Number 11. The habit of neglecting family relationships. The importance of connecting with loved ones at the start of the day. In the daily race to fulfill our obligations and goals, we often make the mistake of prioritizing tasks over the most important relationships in our lives, those we share with our family. It's easy to sideline them as we dive into the frenzy of work, schedules, or personal worries. However, this bad habit can have a profound impact on our happiness and well-being. I remember that in the early years of my adult life, I was so focused on my projects and responsibilities that I often neglected my family. I thought that by achieving my personal goals, I could eventually give them more time and attention. But I realized too late that by setting aside those moments of connection, I was also losing what truly gave meaning to my life. The people closest to us are not only part of our story, they are our strength, our refuge, and often the greatest source of our happiness. As I learned from the wisdom of the ancient Stoics, one of the key principles that helped me change this habit was understanding that family and loved ones are vital sources of emotional support and well-being. Marcus Aurelius taught us that our actions must align with the values that truly matter. If family is what we value most, then we must ensure that our actions reflect that every day. Each morning, before immersing myself in the demands of the day, I've learned to take a few minutes to connect with my loved ones, whether through a word of encouragement, a hug, or simply a moment of quiet togetherness. These moments are fundamental to recharging my emotional energy. This habit of connecting with family, of showing love and gratitude, gives me a sense of purpose that I can't find anywhere else. Imagine waking up and instead of rushing straight into your tasks, you choose to share a moment with your partner, children, or parents. It's not about dedicating hours, but sharing conscious moments, small gestures that strengthen emotional bonds. This completely transforms the tone of your day. Rather than feeling pressured by external demands, you feel supported by the love and encouragement of those close to you. Family is the pillar that provides emotional stability and clarity to face whatever comes. This small adjustment in my routine has made a big difference. Every morning, by connecting with my loved ones before diving into responsibilities, I find an inner peace and motivation that no endless to-do list could ever provide. The worries and stresses of the day start to feel more manageable because I know I have a solid emotional support team by my side, no matter what I do. Moreover, this habit has taught me to prioritize what truly matters. Tasks and challenges will always be there, but time with family is limited and precious. We cannot afford to take it for granted, especially since time is the one thing we can never get back. Connecting with loved ones at the start of the day strengthens our sense of belonging, reduces stress, and gives us a more balanced perspective on everything we need to accomplish. I encourage you every morning before rushing into the hustle and bustle of the day to take a moment to be present with your family. Whether it's a simple hello, a smile, or a kind word, what matters is making it a daily ritual of emotional connection. This simple gesture can transform your day and, over time, your life. If this insight resonates with you, subscribe and join this space dedicated to eliminating the bad habits that ruin your mornings, so you can live with more energy and focus from day one. Number 12. The habit of ignoring the breath. The power of conscious breathing to begin the day with serenity. Amid the morning rush, we often forget a resource as simple and fundamental as our own breath. We dive into our daily routine without realizing how powerful conscious breathing is. This is a habit we overlook, yet it profoundly impacts how we face the day. Ignoring conscious breathing upon waking is like forgetting to start the engine of a vehicle before embarking on a journey. I vividly remember the moment I realized how important it is to breathe properly. For years, I would wake up quickly, rushing into the day, pressured by tasks and responsibilities. My mind raced faster than my body, and all I did was fight against the natural flow of the day. But one day, while reading the teachings of Epictetus, I understood something crucial. Breathing is how we anchor ourselves in the present moment. It is the bridge between body and mind. Conscious breathing is much more than a physical action. It is an act of self-awareness. When we breathe deeply, we take a moment to connect with the present, our body, and what is truly happening now. It is the perfect antidote to stress and anxiety, allowing us to release negative thoughts and escape the rush of daily life. The simple act of deep breathing has a transformative power. Over time, I began to integrate conscious breathing into my morning routine. Upon waking, I would take a few minutes to breathe deeply, filling my lungs with fresh air. Instead of jumping out of bed with a racing mind, I allowed myself to feel the air entering my body, releasing any tension accumulated during the night. This simple exercise helped me feel more centered and prepared for the day ahead. At first, I did it for just a few seconds, but as I repeated it, I noticed that I felt calmer, more focused, and more present. The simple act of breathing with awareness helped me visualize how I wanted my day to unfold, allowing me to see everything more clearly, free from the pressure of early morning chaos. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, like Epictetus, reminded us to train our minds to be present at all times. Conscious breathing is an essential tool for this. We don't need to meditate for hours to reap its benefits. With just a few minutes in the morning, we can establish a foundation of calm and clarity for the entire day. I encourage you, the next time you wake up, to dedicate a few minutes to deep breathing. Do it with full awareness, feeling the air enter and exit, waking up your body and filling it with energy. This small gesture, which seems so simple, has the potential to completely transform your day. With each deep breath, You establish your connection to the present moment, your body, and what truly matters. Conscious breathing not only calms the mind, but also activates the nervous system, preparing your body for action. It is a way to start the day balanced, without rushing, without letting stress take over. Remember, just as a ship cannot sail without adjusting its sails, your mind cannot navigate the day without conscious breathing. Number 13. The habit of disconnecting from nature. How to reconnect with the natural world at the start of your day. In the hustle of our modern lives, filled with technology and constant noise, it's easy to forget a fundamental element that sustains our inner peace: nature. We've become so absorbed in our screens and daily tasks that we often disconnect from the natural environment, a boundless source of calm, clarity, and serenity. Like many of us, I used to start my mornings in a state of rush and anxiety, unaware that what I truly needed was a moment of connection with the natural world. I remember waking up and immediately diving into tasks, never pausing to step outside and breathe fresh air. Eventually, I realized that this bad habit was affecting not just my physical well-being, but also my emotional and mental state. Marcus Aurelius, in his wisdom, spoke about the importance of connecting with nature. He taught that just as a river flows naturally and doesn't fight against the stones in its path, we should learn to flow with life, guided by simple and fundamental things. Nature, in its silence and constant presence, has the power to remind us of who we truly are and bring us clarity. At first, I struggled to find time for this connection, but I came to understand that it's not about grand adventures or excursions. It's about small moments of presence. Opening a window to let fresh air into the room, stepping onto the terrace for a moment, or taking a brief walk under the morning sun. These simple gestures have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. Nature offers the serenity we often seek elsewhere, but that only it can provide. It's like a balm for the soul. Walking outdoors, watching trees swaying gently in the wind, or listening to birdsong helps us align with the natural rhythm of life. We become more aware of the beauty surrounding us and less focused on everyday problems. This small adjustment, reconnecting with nature at the start of the day, has been transformative for me. It's as though immersing myself in nature's peace helps balance my mind and body before I face the stresses ahead. Nature reminds us of the simplicity of the present moment and teaches us that what truly matters is right before our eyes, not in technology or complications. I encourage you to spend a few minutes outdoors each morning. If you have access to a garden, park, or even just a window, take the time to breathe deeply and feel the fresh air on your face. Listen to the sounds of the natural world. This connection not only clears your mind, but also anchors you in the present moment, preparing you mentally and emotionally for what the day holds. It's not about spending hours outside, but about giving your mind the chance to slow down and nourish itself with the calm that only nature can provide. So before diving into the chaos of your daily tasks, gift yourself this moment of natural serenity. Even brief time outdoors can be a catalyst for transforming your day, providing you with an inner balance that will accompany you throughout. Number 14, the habit of forgetting our values. How to reflect on your essence and live with purpose at the start of the day. Every morning presents us with a new opportunity to shape our day. But without a clear focus on our values and goals, it's easy to be swept away by the flow of events, merely reacting to whatever comes our way instead of taking control of our direction. This is why reflecting on what truly matters before taking the first step is so crucial. I remember that in my early years, I would wake up and let the tasks and worries of the day dominate my thoughts, without considering what I truly wanted to achieve or how I wanted to face the day. I allowed external demands to dictate my actions, forgetting what was genuinely important to me. This habit often led me astray, as the rush of modern life made me lose sight of my purpose. Over time, I learned that taking a moment to reflect on my personal values at the start of each day helped me realign with what I genuinely wanted to achieve. Marcus Aurelius, the wise Roman emperor, taught that our thoughts and actions must harmonize with our deepest principles. If we are not aware of our values, our actions become mere reactions, and we drift away from the path we desire to follow. That's why I began dedicating a few minutes every morning to reflect on what truly matters in my life. Before diving into the day's routine, I pause to think about my principles and goals. I reflect on what I want to build, how I want to be, and what I truly want to do with my time. This simple act of reflection provides clarity and purpose, allowing me to start the day with intention rather than reaction. Morning reflection on my values and goals not only sets the tone for my day, but also enables me to make wiser decisions aligned with what I genuinely want to achieve. Knowing what I value most makes it easier to say no to distractions, to tasks that don't contribute to my purpose, and to external influences trying to divert my attention. Starting the day with clarity about what I want and who I want to be brings an inner peace I hadn't experienced before. This act of centering myself, taking control of how I want to live and how I want to contribute to the world, gives me renewed energy and a deep focus to tackle any challenge that comes my way. It's as if, by clarifying my values, my mind and heart work together, guiding me through the day with purpose and serenity. I invite you to take a moment each morning before rushing into your tasks to reflect on your deepest values. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? What is most important to me? How can I act in alignment with what I value most? This reflection will not only help you start your day with clarity, but also live it with purpose. Remember, without clarity about our values, we get swept away by the noise of life. But with this practice, each day becomes an opportunity to live according to what truly matters. When you are aligned with your essence, everything else falls into place naturally. Don't let the world's noise make you lose sight of your path. By reflecting on your values at the start of the day, you ensure that every step you take is guided by what truly matters to you. Number 15, the habit of neglecting gratitude. How to cultivate appreciation in your life from the very first moment of the day. It's easy to wake up each morning and immediately start chasing after tasks, worries, or expectations that the day imposes on us. We forget what truly matters, the gifts life offers us daily, and the blessing of simply being alive. This is a bad habit, one that many of us adopt without realizing it, the habit of neglecting gratitude. For years, I made the mistake of starting my day hurriedly, focusing only on what I lacked or the tasks I hadn't yet completed. Gratitude was a word I knew I should practice, but it wasn't a habit in my daily life. Why? Because I didn't take the time to stop and reflect on the blessings I already had. As a result, I often felt overwhelmed, dissatisfied, and trapped in an endless race to achieve more. Over time, however, I learned that gratitude is one of the most powerful practices for starting the day with a positive and serene mindset. In fact, it's an act that deeply connects us to what truly matters in life. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "We are not poor for lacking much, but for not appreciating what we have." This teaching made me realize that gratitude transforms our perspective, changing how we view the world and ourselves. That's why I began incorporating a small gratitude ritual each morning. Upon waking, before getting out of bed or checking my phone, I dedicate a few minutes to expressing thanks for all I have: my health, the people I love, the roof over my head, and even the opportunity for a new day. I express gratitude for the small details, like the sound of the morning, the smell of freshly brewed coffee, or the simple act of breathing. These moments of reflection connect me to my purpose and allow me to approach the day with a more open and positive mindset. What's most surprising is how this simple act of gratitude can change our perception of everything we do. When we start the day with gratitude, everything that happens throughout the day becomes more meaningful. Small victories, moments with loved ones, and opportunities that come our way all feel like gifts instead of obligations. This practice, while seemingly simple, has a profound impact on how we experience life. I invite you to pause every morning before diving into your tasks or worries and allow yourself to immerse in a sea of gratitude. Give thanks for everything you have, from the big blessings to the small details we often take for granted. This act of acknowledgement connects you to the present, fills you with positive energy, and above all, prepares you mentally to face the day with serenity and purpose. Remember, gratitude doesn't just change our perspective, it transforms our energy. By recognizing how fortunate we are, we open the door for more blessings to enter our lives. It's a positive cycle that feeds itself. When we give thanks, the universe responds with more reasons to be grateful. Most importantly, by starting each day with gratitude, we align with our true essence and prepare to live according to our deepest values. So the next time you open your eyes in the morning, allow yourself to feel grateful for this new day. Make gratitude your first thought and see how this practice can transform not only your morning but also your entire day, your week, and your life. What if at the start of each day we pause to ask ourselves, am I living in alignment with what I truly value? Each of these habits, though small, holds the power to transform not just our day but our entire life. We are constantly challenged to maintain control in a world that seems to impose its expectations upon us. However, each day is a new opportunity to take charge of our existence and live with intention, purpose, and above all, authenticity. The real question isn't whether we check off the tasks of the day, but how we approach them. Do we face them with a calm and open mind, or are we swept away by haste and pressure? We often tell ourselves that we don't have time to pause, but isn't the pause the very space where we begin to truly live? At the end of the day, it's not about being perfect or adhering to a checklist of habits. It's about recognizing that we have the power to choose each morning how we want the day to shape us. What we do with those first moments of the day will stay with us throughout the hours that follow. So, the question remains, how do you choose to start your day today? With mindfulness or impulse? With gratitude or complaints? It's time to question ourselves and redefine how we live, because every day is a new opportunity to transform our lives into something fuller and more authentic. I'm excited to hear your stories of overcoming challenges related to this topic. Share your victories, struggles, and experiences in the comments. If you're unsure what to say, write, "I commit to transforming my mornings and starting each day with positive energy," to show that you've completed our session. Don't forget to subscribe if this content resonates with you and aligns with your values for living with Stoic wisdom. Your voice is essential here. Every reflection strengthens and elevates our community, highlighting the value of each individual and contributing to our shared Stoic identity. Joining this Stoic community means breaking the chains that hold you back and building an inner fortress that no one can tear down. Is there a topic you'd like to explore in depth? Leave it in the comments. Additionally, we've prepared a space in the pinned comment where you'll find more about us and resources to help you integrate Stoic principles into your daily life. This is your call to take the next step toward a life of meaning. We'll see you in our next session at Stoicism for Winners, where we'll continue exploring the riches of Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. Now seize the opportunity to expand your understanding of Stoicism with new recommended sessions. Until we meet again, remember, you are the sole master of your perception, the creator of your peace, and the warrior of your own battle. This is the legacy of Stoicism, the art of being invincible,